What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want us to discuss the fact that HEX has crossed into the top 4 cryptocurrencies by market cap. If you enjoy this kind of hybrid technical and quantitative analysis on the HEX price, make sure to leave a thumbs up, be subscribed by the end of the video if you aren't already, and let's get to 2,700 subscribers. We're almost there. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the fact that HEX has crossed into the top 4 cryptos by market cap on nomics.com, currently sitting at $54 billion market cap when you count all 571 billion coins. And if you go ahead and take a look at TradingView, even though they only count, 173 billion coins, funny enough, we're still top 10 on TradingView cryptocurrency market rankings. And then if you go ahead and look at the token tracker on etherscan.io, we are the number 4 ERC20 in the world. And again, similar to TradingView, Etherscan only counts 171 billion coins or so, giving us a market cap of about 16 billion. Right? You can see it matches with this. So even with this supply discrepancy, we are top 10 market cap on TradingView and top 10 ERC20 on Etherscan. If you would like to consider the fact that we are a $54 billion market cap, we're in top 4 crypto in the world. If you were to consider that in the context of ERC20s, then we would be sitting right behind Tether, right above BNB. Actually just flipped BNB today if you count all coins, right? I believe, what does Etherscan call it? If you count the fully diluted market cap, then we are right behind BNB. And funny enough, if you don't count stable coins, right, just don't count USDT, don't count USDC, then we're actually number 1 ERC20 in the world. HEX is the number 1 ERC20 in the world currently by market cap if you consider fully diluted market cap. And even if you don't, then we're right behind BNB, putting us at, again, disregarding stable coins, and depending on what supply metric you choose to look at, then we are either number 1 or number 2. I'd consider we're number 1 ERC20 in the world. Just flipped BNB today here on nomics.com. I repeat, we are number 4 market cap. I don't think we've ever been number 4 with HEX here on nomics.com. I remember we were 5th place back in the day, I think October, November of last year. And now currently we are all-time high on this ranking site. And Nomics has a nice 7-day prediction of almost 12 cents, which would put price at approximately, or not price rather, but it would put market cap at approximately 63 billion dollars, which would put it right above Tether, putting us into the number 3 spot, which would be a first for HEX ever. And once again, it would reflect differently on these sites like TradingView and Etherscan, but nonetheless, price would be reflecting said appreciation. Okay, so something I haven't showed you guys in a while is actually our liquidity pools in Uniswap v3. Now, keep in mind that not all liquidity is in v3 yet. I believe the majority of HEX liquidity is actually still in v2, right? But there's a non-trivial percentage of liquidity that's in Uniswap v3. So there is some level of asymmetric liquidity being provided, because remember, in v2 the liquidity distribution is pretty much uniform, right? Once you provide liquidity, it pretty much becomes liquidity at all levels. And so there are certain levels that obviously are not reached in price when you provide liquidity, and so a lot of your capital isn't used, hence the term capital inefficiency. So when you provide liquidity on v2, it's less capital efficient than on v3. So you have, again, this flat distribution, this uniform distribution of liquidity on v2, about, I think, 70-80% of total liquidity of HEX. And then you have v3 accounting for like 20 plus percent, I believe, of liquidity for HEX, which actually has a shape. And the shape of that is not flat, but rather all you have to do is look at the major, the thickest pair with $6 million of total value locked, and look at the liquidity distribution. It's as simple as that. And you see that you have this nice distribution which peaks around the levels we're currently at, which comparing this chart to what it used to look like back in the day just shows me that LPs, liquidity providers, are getting way smarter, right? Because I remember this used to look so funky, and you had these spikes completely outside of your trading zone, which made me think like the way this works on V3 is if you have your liquidity provided between, say, here and here, where the majority of it is now, hence why I'm saying I think LPs are getting smarter, this is where you're actually earning fees, because price is this sort of pink red line. Price is sitting here at about 9.38 cents. And keep in mind, it's kind of backwards here, where if you go right, that's down in price, left here, or right, the way you guys are seeing it. So if you go right here, that's down in price. If you go left here, it's up in price, which is super weird. But nonetheless, we have liquidity being provided predominantly between the 8.8 cents, so actually approximately the 9 cent and 9.7 cent level is where we have the majority of our liquidity, meaning liquidity providers on Uniswap V3 are, for the most part, earning fees. Anyone who's provided it in here. And then anyone who's provided it outside of here is effectively placing a limit order where their liquidity isn't being touched, right? It's not being played with until price actually starts trading within the range which they decided to provide liquidity at. And then that's when your coins start being played with, so to speak, and when your ratio starts changing. And then again, once it exits the band that you provide liquidity for, then again, they remain untouched again. And again, this is to effectively place limit orders. There are great resources out there. Don't come to me to like figure out exactly how to set limit orders, because I actually never use Uniswap V3 to set a limit order. I just know that it's this cool new feature that you can use. All right, so with that said, we have $6 million of liquidity, right? Total value locked on Uniswap V3. And if you look at where the liquidity starts kind of dying off, so to speak, where the order books start getting really, really thin, well, first of all, we have this nice kind of support spike here at the 8 cent level or so, probably some limit order set over here, and it drops off sharply after 15 cents. Order book starts getting even more thin after 20 cents, and then 25 cents. So you have these kind of key milestones, right, where psychological levels, I guess, clean multiples of 5 cents, where you see liquidity start dropping off. So those could be regions where, if for some reason price were to reach 15 cents and were to break slightly above it, you'd think, right, since the order books become quite thin, that price would actually move from probably 15 to 20 quite quickly, and then from 20 to 25 probably quite quickly. If price were to start testing and going into price discovery mode again, I would assume the higher it goes, probably the faster it would start going. I don't know. This just looks good to me. It looks like LPs are being smart. It looks like we have liquidity where we need it, and it looks like people are, I guess, speculating. LPs are speculating to some degree that price can reach these levels because there is liquidity there. And so take a look at take a look at the price here on Uniswap V2 which is our major liquidity pair, and we look at we are damn near testing all-time highs. If you take a look at the line chart, then we are at all-time highs. If you take a look at the candle chart, then we wicked up to 9.97 cents, which is slightly above our all-time high of 9.95 cents on this chart. So barely. Will we reach 10 cents or more today? I mean, it's likely that we see it soon. Maybe not. I can't tell for sure. But yeah, this video was definitely a little more on the qualitative side, right? Less quantitative, more qualitative, just kind of looking at things and talking about them without too much math. So let me know if you enjoy this kind of analysis, qualitative analysis, on top of the quantitative stuff we do. Because we do a lot of this, and I know some of it can get really repetitive and really old, even though it's cool, insightful, stats, math's fun. If it can get a little boring maybe sometimes. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more of the quantitative stuff, more of the technical stuff, or more of the sort of qualitative, just kind of my opinion and not as much math, but rather just talking through it, logic, and chatting with you about, what the markets look like. So thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of hybrid qualitative, quantitative, technical. Oof, it's getting long, this list. Analysis on the HEX price, on the HEX charts. Be subscribed by now, most definitely. Let's get to 2,700 subscribers, 3,000 by the end of June. Again, I appreciate you watching. Congrats on number 4 crypto, and depending on how you look at it, congrats on number 1 ERC20 in the world. Go HEX. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.